So, Live and Direct is a platform I believe that Fit Peckham are hosting over their Instagram channel, and it's an opportunity for creatives like myself and other people there to kind of, I guess, give you guys some insight to our knowledge. I believe Malachi started it with the Black Lives Matter movement. He created one, and this is now going to be a series, and but they're getting loads of creatives involved and to give people opportunities to talk about subject matters or teach you new skills. So today I'm going to be talking about my new alkaline diet and how we can use food to benefit our mental health and our mental well-being. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alfiah. I am a writer, director, performer, visual arts director, and I make music sometimes. But generally I dibble and dabble in quite a few things. I worked at Fit Peckham, so those of you who are here from Fit Peckham, hi. And actually around the time of working at Fit Peckham last year, I had a massive surgery for a chronic illness called endometriosis. This took gynecologists over a year to diagnose me with this, and it's quite common within Black women to get really late diagnosis within gynecological problems or problems with their ovaries. And as time went on, I started speaking to a lot of women. A lot of women have polycystic ovaries or endometriosis or problems there, and to be honest, further than that, a lot of people do have diseases and a lot of kind of ill health. So during lockdown, unfortunately, I became very stressed and anxious, and on top of my chronic illness, this just blew up out of proportion to the point where I was kind of going numb on one side, and the NHS, I was calling up the NHS, they're like, it's fine, it'll be okay, just try have kids as quickly as possible. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better option here. So I've spent the whole of my lockdown studying food, studying how disease is created, and studying how the effects of food and when we eat it, what it does to our body. So from my research, I know the NHS may say something different or your doctor might say something different, but from my research, I'm kind of going down a holistic path, so using herbs and food to heal you. Everything starts from the liver, so everything that we eat, anything that happens is kind of created within the liver, and then this in return creates other diseases, so leaky gut, all these kind of problems start within the liver, and then they expel out into our bloodstream or wherever else, and then create other problems. So the alkaline diet that I've been following is Dr. Sebi, and I think he's just amazing. I've fully adapted to this diet now. Yes, I still do cheat now and then, because it is a really, really hard diet, and it's really strict. It's very limited. There's not a lot of food groups on there, and the food groups are very limited. The main things you can eat are predominantly fruit and vegetables. And so I'm going to tell you Dr. Sebi's tips. So his rules, the main things that are most important for an alkaline diet. So Dr. Sebi recommends, if you want your body to get alkaline and healthy, drink 1 gallon of spring water a day. So yeah, some of these things I've already been doing, by the way. So I should probably tell you that I used to be a pescatarian. I changed 3 years ago due to my mental health as well, and then I cut out meat, a lot of dairy products, a lot of sugar, so fizzy drinks, all these kind of things, and I saw a massive improvement. But then during lockdown, I wanted to take that step further due to feeling extra stressed, and so now I'm following Dr. Sebi's guidelines. If anyone has any questions, by the way, flooding your questions, I'm going to answer them as I go along. So yeah, rule number 1 of Dr. Sebi's alkaline diet to help keep you on track: drink 1 gallon of spring water a day. I think that's around 3 litres. I worked it out to be, I think. Don't quote me on that. Okay, number 2, So this is the like eliminating out of your diet what's not good for you. Now, obviously, this is from his research. People are gonna respond differently. Like, I know people's bodies respond differently to food, but this is what he recommends from someone who's healing for a disease or someone who wants to stay alkaline. Avoid animal products such as dairy, meat, fish and honey. Avoid alcohol. Avoid GMO foods. Avoid white and brown sugar. Avoid table salt. Avoid soy. Avoid caffeine. Avoid gluten. Avoid starch and avoid wheat. I know, I've cried many times in the donut aisle. I still love Krispy Kremes. Hey, to the person who's saying hello to me. Number 3, avoid using the microwave. The microwave kills your food. Like, you put it in there and it zaps all the nutrients out of it. Number 5, try to sleep at 10 p.m. Now, my body clock normally falls asleep around 11, but Dr. Sebi believes that falling asleep from around 10 to 2 a.m. are the most healing hours that our body will literally function within that time of like healing and getting the deepest sleep that we need. And this is what I find quite interesting. So Dr. Sebi, he's healed multiple people from my research, and he's healed people with things from HIV to like, what else? HIV. To be honest, he's pretty much healed everyone. He's healed people with cancerous cells. He's healed people with heart problems. What do I want to say? What am I thinking of that I can't get out? He had a disease and he cured himself. Oh, he had diabetes and he cured himself. And so yeah, he's cured all these kind of problems, and he's cured all these problems just using herbs. So like leaves and like natural herbs, and he's cured them by fasting on fruit and vegetables, and that is literally how he's cured them. No other kind of like medication that we may see as like healing ourselves from like what we might get over the counter from the NHS. He avoids all those things and just uses what's on earth, so food and natural herbs that you can find that grow in the ground. And Dr. Sebi believes that mucus is the cause of all disease. So mucus, if for anyone who doesn't know, when we're like quite sick or ill, we cough up like a lot of phlegm. That is mucus. So he believes that the mucus that's stored in our body is what helps to create disease. So those of you who are more interested in finding out some facts about Dr. Sebi or researching him for yourself or your own health benefits, because every way to cure a chronic illness, or depending on what you want to research Dr. Sebi for, is kind of different to everyone's kind of need. So what I would suggest to you is follow Dr. Sebi Approved on Instagram. You can buy his books on Amazon, and you can go on YouTube and just watch his videos. My mum's about to come in, so sorry if you hear any banging. So top things that I would say to incorporate into your diet or to try change your lifestyle for the better. So some of these things that I've incorporated into my life once I've changed into the Dr. Sebi diet is is adding in, by the way, if you have any questions, just hit me up and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So Irish sea moss. Guys, we are in the middle of Black Lives Matter. If you want to go support black owned stores, go down to Brixton and buy yourself some herbs that I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of people, well, this is kind of sold out at the moment, it's quite hard to get your hands on, but there's a lot of people in black owned stores in Brixton who sell these herbs that are great ways to make your own teas, to make your own smoothies with. So Irish sea moss, this is really good for flushing out toxins in the body. Literally anything you need, this is it. This has like, I think, pretty much all the minerals that we need in our body, but just within this. And it's basically like seaweed. My second thing is Dandelion, Burdock and Nettle tea. So this is Nettle, this is Burdock, and this is some Dandelion leaf. And so I went to Brixton. These things are relatively cheap. So that was £2.50, £2.50. I think this was like £2.50 as well. I just put these in like a litre of water, like as much as I feel like I need in there. Then I boil it for like 10 minutes, and then I'm making my own herbal teas. And I've also put money towards black-owned businesses, and these are also way more nutritious than a lot of herbal teas that you'll buy in the store. These help with iron. So I used to be severely anemic, so these help with like iron and clearing out toxins as well. And then what else would I say? So if you want to go raw vegan or alkaline, or if you want to change up your diet, some people can find it quite expensive, and in all fairness, it can be quite expensive. So one top tip I would say is buy a lot of frozen fruit. It's cheaper and it lasts longer. 4, drink 2 to 3 cups of spring water when you wake up in the morning. Like I know a lot of people's first thing is like, oh my god, coffee or tea or breakfast or cereal. I would say an hour before you eat or 2 hours before you eat, just have 3 cups of water, and then try drink like 1 or 2 cups of like herbal tea. Like the herbal tea I just showed you, like make that and have that before you have anything else, because the water and the herbal teas will literally help flush out any kind of toxins, and will literally help hydrate you before you start your day. 5, now this is a really hard one because I love salt and vinegar crisps. Anyone else out there who loves salt and vinegar crisps? Oh, where did I buy them in Brixton? So there's a stall near to, I think it's Brixton Pop Village. There's a stall there. He sells loads of herbs, and I literally went there and I went on like a little wander around with my friend and just went into all the stores in the little village, and was just like looking around, just asking people to what stores they could go. And then there's another one not far from Eat of Eden. I can't remember what it's called, but it's next to the Dog Star. I think it's like a pub. Yeah, it's not far from there, so you can get some herbs in there. So number 5, I would say change your snacks to fruit, nuts and veg. Change your drinks to water, coconut water and herbal teas. Changing these things, so from like a granola bar or crisps, these things have loads of sugars and they add up in our body. So I'd say change them out for just eating like a normal apple or pear, or maybe make some hummus and have some like cucumber with that. And nuts. I just say like those things keep you running for longer and it's more healthier. 6, this is quite an important one. I would say change your mind to think of food as medicine and respect your food. So like when I eat food, I'm like, okay, what's that going to do for my body? Like if I eat a McDonald's, I'm like, oh, I might feel a bit sluggish. Or to me, I don't really eat fast food, but if I eat a packet of crisps, I'm like, oh, that's gonna make me feel a little bit rough. Or if I eat a chocolate bar, it's gonna bring me right up and then drop me down. So respect your food and see it as medicine, and put effort and time into the food that you're making. I know, like, I work in the theatre, so sometimes I can do 12-hour days. I always cook the night before, make excess food, and then just put that in a storage container, and then making sure that I'm bringing loads of fruit and vegetables with me throughout the day. I would still snack on crisps, but I try to bring food that I know what's in it, so I know what I'm eating when I'm at the theatre for long periods of day, rather than having like a microwave meal, getting something like chicken and chips, because I know that it's going to fill me up for longer. So I make a lot of like hearty curries or pastas. So I bring those kind of things along with me. So today I'm making an alkaline curry. As I said, for those who are interested in Dr. Sebi, the list is very, very minimal. So I've spent a lot of time during lockdown figuring out how to make meals that I like, as regular or as close to my other meals. So as we know, Dr. Sebi has said no starch. So that means no sweet potatoes, no normal potatoes. So in the oven, I've already been cooking because I didn't know how long it was going to take. And I didn't want to have you guys waiting here for ages and then I go over my time limit. So it should be close to done now. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to flip the camera around. So what I've got here is courgette, butternut squash and mushrooms. Now what I've used to season is pink rock salt or Himalayan salt. We shouldn't be using table salt. It's not good for us. This has run out, but I used some oregano. These are all alkaline and Dr. Sebi approved. I used some thyme. I used some sesame seeds, some ginger, some cayenne pepper. Where's my other one? And this is quite hard to get, but I got this from an organic store, but you can usually get it in like kind of like Afro-Caribbean shops or Asian shops. It's quite hard to find in other places. So I've just literally sprinkled some of that over there with some fresh parsley and coriander. So I've just sprinkled that on there and like let it bake. Now we're going to put this onto the side because our vegetables are cooked. I put them in there for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. All of our vegetables are nice and baked. Now we're going to get on to making the curry. I understand that changing your diet or going alkaline or vegan, some people find it quite expensive. So I haven't been sponsored by Lidl, but I went to Lidl today to see how cost effective I could make this. So sorry guys, I'm going a little bit all over the place. So in Lidl's at the moment, butternut squash is actually 55p. I got some quinoa. Because a lot of rices and stuff aren't allowed within the Dr. Sebi diet. So I've got some quinoa. This was $1.99, so it was quite affordable. The chickpeas I'm going to be using are from Sainsbury's. They're 85p. If you have canned chickpeas, go ahead and use them. I'm just using these because I'm strictly trying to follow as close to Dr. Sebi's diet as possible. So these are the kind of like main ingredients. This should need to cook for about 20 minutes. Oh, I appear to have lost the lid. Okay, so I'm just going to put a lid on that. It's quite hard. I wish I had a camera person here. I feel like Nigella Lawson without the glam. So I'm just sprinkling a little bit of salt in there. And then this is creamed coconut. You can get this in quite a lot of places. I think I got this in Sainsbury's for like 90p. So I'm just going to cut a bit of this up because quinoa is a bit bland. To be honest, the first time I cooked it, my mum thought it was disgusting. So yeah, we're going to make it like essentially like a coconut rice curry. So just put a bit of creamed coconut in there with a bit of salt, and then I'm gonna just sprinkle a bit of thyme in there as well. So this, just sprinkling it into the pot as it goes in. Yes, Nigella Lawson, that's who I was trying to quote. Guys, as I keep saying, if you have any questions as I go along, please ask questions. Don't be afraid. I'm here to provide, I was just checking if I had any questions. I'm here to provide as much knowledge as I can, or helping anyone who's interested in this. So yeah, okay, the quinoa is cooking. Now we're going to make our curry. Another thing that I have been avoiding is oil. So believe it or not, I make all my curries, anything that I make, with water. So maybe I'll turn you around for this bit. So just throw them all in. All onions are alkaline. So, yeah. Is it making you dizzy, me going back and forth? I don't know, I thought it would be more helpful. So yeah, I'm just going to let the onions be in there. So, I'm turning you around. Then I'm going to put some thyme in there. So I don't really measure things, I just sprinkle it as I go along. So a little bit of thyme in there. Some cayenne pepper. This is with the onions, by the way. I'm going to put some ginger powder in there. I don't have any fresh ginger, so I'm just going to use some ginger powder. Then some coriander. Just put that in there. And some parsley. Hi to everybody who's coming in. We are making an alkaline butternut squash and chickpea curry. If anyone has any questions, please don't be afraid to ask any questions. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but one thing I mainly discovered is that, yeah, everything that goes into your gut affects your brain and your mental state. So this is another reason why I went alkaline as well. And I've cut out pretty much most bad things. I'm also going to put a little bit of onion powder in there. I have run out of oregano, unfortunately. So I'm just going to put a bit of this in there. This is like a mixed herb, but it's got some oregano in there. So yeah, I just wait for the onions to simmer down a bit, so get a bit softer. Just cutting up the creamed coconut. And so whilst our onions are getting a bit softer, I'm going to make dessert, wish me luck, because I've never made this before. So I froze my bananas yesterday, and we are going to be making banana ice cream. So I've got my blender here. So what you want to do, so what I'm just waiting for my onions, so I'm going to make the ice cream. So what you want to do is freeze your bananas the night before. Make sure they're kind of ripe as well. So I'm just going to put those in my cup. Now, should I make blueberry ice cream or should I make strawberry and basil? The first person to reply is going to decide the ice cream flavour. Anybody? Anybody out there? Blueberry. Okay. Blueberry. So I just got the blueberries from the freezer. I'm just going to put maybe half a cupful in there. And it's going to need some liquid. So for those of you who are on a budget, I would say you could probably use some water. But I'm just going to put some coconut water in it. Give it a bit of a kick. And I'm going to put some designated coconut in there. So by the way, guys, if you have any questions about how you can use food to improve your mental well-being, please ask away. I feel like I've been talking a lot. I'd love to interact with you guys and share any knowledge that I have to help you guys. So I've just put some coconut in there. And then I'm gonna squeeze some lime in there. Fun fact, lemons are not alkaline, limes are. Okay, so we've got some frozen bananas in there. I've put about 2 in there because that's what I had. Blueberries, some coconut and some lime juice. I'm just gonna put that onto the blender. But as you can see, our onions have softened. Ooh. Sorry, a bit steamy over here. So I'm just going to put about 1/4 of creamed coconut in there. So yeah, just the onions and the seasoning and the creamed coconut, and just let the creamed coconut get quite soft in there. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more water. So yeah, the creamed coconut is basically gonna make your, like, the curry aspect of it. So yeah, most of it's kind of melted in, but I'm just going to let that melt in there a little bit more. Well, according to Dr. Sebi, sweet potatoes are not good for us because they're starch, and starch is a binding food. So say if you eat any kind of like sugars or any kind of food on top of that, it basically binds the food together. So apparently sweet potatoes are not great for us. So an alternative is butternut squash, which apparently is better for us, and we're able to process that more within our guts and our liver and our colon. So yeah, I was gutted when I found out sweet potatoes weren't good for us. So here, I've got my nice cream. I'm about to blend it. Let's see. Clearly not the best of blenders, but getting somewhere. I'm worried this is going to be more like a smoothie than nice cream. So I've never made this before. Okay, I'll come back to the nice cream. So the coconut milk, As you can see, it's thickened a bit. So this is what it should kind of look like. I've already washed and pre-prepped this. I know, I feel like Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to add some kale in there, a lot of kale, because kale shrinks. And then red peppers. The only peppers that are alkaline are bell peppers. So put those all in there. Use a bit more water. I would suggest, like, when you're cooking quinoa, maybe put like a bay leaf in it or some sage, but unfortunately I don't have that, and my mum didn't get any from the shop. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. I know you're probably thinking it looks really watery and weird, but it is going to turn into a beautiful curry. And so whilst that's just kind of simmering, I like to put a bit more seasoning on it, just so that we don't lose any of the flavour. So I just sprinkle a bit more thyme. I just literally sprinkle it. I don't really measure anything. And I think, like, if you kind of know what your taste buds are like, so I just say do whatever you want. A bit more cayenne pepper. Bit more ginger. And then a little bit more salt. I suggest you check on your quinoa. So my quinoa is nice and bubbling up there. Good tip for quinoa. Measure it in a cup. Then whatever you have in a cup of quinoa, just double it. Okay, back to my nice cream. Okay. I'm just gonna blend it and hope for the best. Would a child like this? I think, okay, so I've been going to my friends' houses and forcing the alkaline recipes onto them, and they literally have loved every single recipe that I've cooked for them. And usually I'm using just ingredients that I can find in their house. I might go out to get a few ingredients, so like say the chickpeas, for example, because I'm using certain chickpeas here. These ones, because I'm trying to avoid canned foods. But usually people have stuff like onions or kale and red peppers in their house. So all my friends have loved these recipes. I've also cooked something similar for my nieces and nephews, and they like it as well. So yeah, I do think children would like these recipes. It's all about getting creative with it and trying to make it as similar to what you know, but obviously with the alternative ingredients. When do you think Theatre Peckham is going to open up? Oh, I have no idea. Hopefully really soon. I'm just blending the ice cream. Sorry guys, sorry. Banana just doesn't want to blend. The woman on YouTube made it look so easy. Also, I mean, I've been making really simple stuff that kids would love, just like tomato soup. So literally just putting tomatoes and then like chickpeas and like just making it all from scratch. So our curry is kind of simmering down. Looks a bit watery at the moment. So if it looks a bit watery like this, I'll just say add a bit more creamed coconut for the consistency. So I'm just going to chop some more up. Don't be alarmed, by the way. It's kind of hard. Like, it looks a bit like halloumi, but it just melts in there. Just putting a bit more of that in there. Keep asking questions, guys. Any other questions you have or are interested to ask about? Yeah, sorry, by the way, I would say have this on like quite a low heat, and then the more you add vegetables into it, bring it onto like a medium heat. Okay. Back to this nice cream. Maybe. I'm gonna chop up the bananas. Hopefully that will help it. Because they're a bit thick at the moment. Obviously don't eat whilst you're doing this, but I'm just trying to get it off my fingers. Okay. So I've taken half of it out. And I've moved the bananas further down, so hopefully they can blend more. But honestly, I just don't have the best blender. No? Okay. Take risks in life, guys, but take risks. This was a risk because I don't know how to make it. So I'm just trying. So I'm going to put a bit more coconut water in there. Hopefully that'll get it blending. Yeah, it's good to take risks and make new things, even if we're not sure how to make them, as you can clearly see. So sorry for anyone at home who's watching this. That sound must be horrible. Okay, so do I do Deliveroo? I wish. I actually really want to own my own restaurant. So what I did is I put the bananas in and I've blended them. So maybe I'll suggest blending the bananas first with some kind of liquid, and then I'm going to pour the berry mixture back in that I kind of blended before. So then, I think kids would love this, Suzanne. This is basically ice cream made from bananas. Okay, sorry, back to the blending noise, guys. Perfect. Okay, so this is the nice cream. It's basically like a smoothie, but it's thicker with frozen bananas. So if you just pour that out. Hold up. So here is the nice cream. I'm gonna add on a few more frozen berries for decoration. Sorry, my workstation is a bit messy here. So a few more frozen berries, and then 1 second, bear with me. Gonna flip you back around. Oh, I feel like I'm flipping you guys so much, but I'm trying to let you guys see all the best angles. Then I'd say this is designated coconut or coconut chips. Just sprinkle a bit of that on there. Then a dash of lime. Agave syrup is alkaline, so if you want it a bit sweeter, I'd say just drizzle a bit of that on there. Then that is basically ice cream that can go into the freezer, or you can make that the night before and then eat that. However, we're still waiting for the curry to make, so I'm not going to eat that now. So this is what our curry is looking like. This is the perfect time to add in the chickpeas. So scissors? No. Oh, here are the scissors. Just drain the liquid out of the chickpeas. Then I just throw the whole thing in there. Please guys, if you have any questions, don't feel afraid to ask me anything. It could be not related to what I'm cooking. Could be to do with anything. So food, when you're going to the theatre, what kind of food is good to keep you energized throughout the day, or what kind of breakfasts are good. And our quinoa is finished now, so I'm just taking it off. So this is how it looks now that it's cooked. Be safe and use tea towels or get an adult to assist you. So yeah, it's nice and fluffy, as you can see. So I'm just going to leave that there on the side now. And now the last thing we're waiting for is our curry. So the chickpeas are in there. I like to add a bit more fresh seasoning as I go along. So I just keep adding in a bit more parsley or whatever I feel needs to go in there. Do a little taste test as you go along. Careful not to burn your lips or anything. Just add in a bit more fresh seasoning. It's kind of sad I don't have any bay leaves or sage, which kind of gives it a bit more of a curry taste. So I'm going to use some basil instead. I know, random, but alkaline and also tastes good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of basil in there. So whilst we're waiting for the chickpeas to simmer in there, what I would suggest you do is all of your vegetables that you cooked earlier, so the butternut squash and the courgettes, literally just pop that all into the curry. Should have got my sister to film me. And the mushrooms can go in there as well. I've also put some sesame seeds on the mushrooms because the mushrooms are a great source of calcium. So yeah guys, please, any questions, because I'm about to finish soon, so any questions, please go ahead and ask me. And so we're just going to let that simmer. So put the lid on it and let it simmer down. And whilst that is happening, I'm going to make a little alkaline salad. So Dr. Sebi says that iceberg lettuce is not alkaline. So what we're going to be using is a little bit of rocket. You can use Romanian lettuce as well. That's alkaline. So I'm just going to put a little bit of rocket there. Plum tomatoes and cherry tomatoes are alkaline. So I'm just going to get a few of those, give them a quick wash. Gosh, it wouldn't be very good if it was Jamie Oliver's 15-minute meals, would I? Okay. Trying to do it as quickly as possible. And then I'm just going to put a bit of cucumber there. Yeah, so guys, any questions about food or mental health or food relating to mental health that I may be able to help you with, I would love to answer before I finish, which is pretty soon. So please don't be afraid to ask any questions. And I'm just going to put a little bit of spring onion on our side salad as well, because all onions are alkaline. So just put a little bit of that there. Okay, so our curry's nearly finished. So I'm just going to dish up. This curry should take you maybe around 45 minutes to just over an hour to make. I say it's quite quick when you know what you're doing. So maybe like half an hour to 45 minutes. So I'm just dishing up the quinoa here. Our curry's nice and sizzling up here. Now, it depends how you like it. You might want it to boil for a bit longer. Depends how you like it. But I quite like it a little bit runny, so I'm going to dish it up now. If you have time, obviously, the longer you kind of let it boil, the more like the taste all integrates with each other. So just making sure I get a bit of each vegetable on there. Then I'm going to just top it off with some fresh coriander. And a bit of lime. Now, I feel like Gordon Ramsay, but here you have it, guys. A clean, alkaline meal that is going to fill your body up and keep you running for long and make you mentally feel great. It's hearty, it's wholesome, it's good for when it's raining. I know when you're changing your diet or becoming vegan, it can be quite hard and you feel like you're missing out. So yeah, a good, nice coconut, chickpea and butternut squash curry with loads of added vegetables, a rocket and tomato and cucumber side salad with our banana nice cream. And if you want to go the extra mile, which I think I might today. Oh, where is it? Sorry guys, I'm just a little bit all over the place trying to look for my designated coconut. Oh, here it is. You can just sprinkle a little bit of coconut on there. And I would say if you want, you know, add a little bit more salt, but I wouldn't suggest it. A little bit more salt, a little bit more seasoning, whatever you want. And I've put some fresh coriander and parsley on there as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Oh, are bananas alkaline or not? Actually, thank you for reminding me. That's a very good point. So Dr. Sebi goes against hybrid foods. So for example, bananas like this, he wouldn't consider alkaline. So bananas that are alkaline are burro bananas, so like the smallest banana that you can get. They sell these in Brixton Market. A lot of black-owned food shops sell them in Brixton Market or Peckham. You can also, I've seen Marks and Spencer sell them as well, but they're really hard to get. I personally can only find them in one shop. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope that you've had fun. I've had fun. I can't wait to eat this. Yeah, and stay blessed and keep your mind strong and well, and eat well as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the lockdown making some great nutritious alkaline meals. Bye guys, take care, stay blessed, bye.